It's nighttime, but I got some messages for my collective. We're going to start with a message from the I Ching. But before we start with a message, I want to give praises to the Most High, thanks to the higher source, thanks to my spirit guides, my ancestors of the most highest loving, caring, and protective of me. We're going to get into the messages and we're going to ask for clear and accurate messages. So we're going to start off again with the message from the I Ching. People who join together are bonded through something. It is either mutual respect, mutual values, a strong leader, or something substantial. When you know what is holding everything together, it is easier to maintain and give homage to that thing. When the ties that form around people are ambiguous, they are easily broken. The hull of the ship will breach if the nails holding it together come loose. Water the tree and it produces large branches that all the birds perch on. Give support to the things that support everything. Pay attention to the foundation and all else will go well. So what I get from that message is you have to have a strong foundation to build anything. You can't have a weak foundation. You can't have a wobbly foundation. You can't have it's so foundational. It has to be a solid foundation. And if that solid foundation starts to break apart, then you need to water that foundation to make it grow. You can't keep it in a funk. You know what you gotta water it. Just like a plant, you gotta water it for it to grow or it's gonna die, right? So that's the same thing with relationships of any kind. If you don't put work into it, then it's just gonna die. It's gonna get boring. It's gonna fade away. The love gonna be lost, right? So you have to water it to hold it together, or it's gonna come loose. So again, pay attention to the foundation, and all else will go well. Let's tap into the messages here. Where do I want to start? Let's get a Soul of Truths card first. Let's see what messages do my collective need to know. What messages do my collective need to know? Make sure that foundation ain't rocking. Make sure it's standing tall. It's solid. Solid as a rock. Especially like if it's a relationship, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're holding up your part, you watering your part, you know what I'm saying? You can't, the other person gonna have to do their part too for it to be solid. Let's get some messages here. What do my collective need to know at this time? We got, what do I resist feeling right now? And we have, where am I called to use my voice right now? So somebody needs to speak up. Speak up about how they're feeling. We have to feel it to heal it. Let's see. Yeah, if you're feeling some type of way about something, if you feel like, again, going back to having a solid foundation, communication is key in our relationships. You have to speak up. You have to say exactly what it is that's bothering you so it can be fixed. You have to say how you're feeling so the other person can know. People don't read minds. I mean, you know, us women sometimes, we be like, well, you know how I feel. Well, you know what I wanted. Like, come on now. Like, people don't read minds. Tell that person how you feel. Tell that person what's going on in your head. You know what I'm saying? People don't make it harder, you know? Like, speak up, communicate. Communicate is Communication is the number one key to any solid foundation in a relationship. You have to know how to talk to your person. So it's like, what do I resist feeling right now? We have to feel it to heal it. In order to let go of pain, we first have to honor its existence. Emotions are like waves. Some are soft, some are fierce, some are layered, and some will sweep you off your feet. When we allow ourselves to feel it, we can then release what no longer serves us. So you have to talk about it. What's on your mind? Because you've been acting different lately. You got to speak about it. Allow yourself to feel. Don't brush it off. You know, a lot of times we get so used to being on guard that if we feel hurt, if we feel, you know, neglected, or if we really like fuck with somebody but we feel like they're not giving us that same energy, we'll try to, you know, fake it and be like, I don't give a fuck, you know. You try to act like you don't care too, you know. And it's like, don't fake it, you know. Don't push it to the side. Don't try to hide how you feel. You express it, let it out, because don't let it build up. Because when it build up, we all know what happens when you let stuff build up, right? So don't let it build up. Speak your mind, speak your truth. If you and somebody supposed to be in something, y'all really love with each other, y'all really love each other, y'all really rock with each other, communication should just flow. It should just flow. And if you can't talk to your person without it being an argument, or they not understanding your side of things, then you need to reevaluate the person that you're laying down with. And it doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be platonic too. Like if somebody can't put themselves in your shoes and understand that, you know, they can't tell you how to feel. You're going to feel how you feel. And y'all have to, from that point, talk and see, okay, where do we go from here? How do we fix this together? But if every time you try to express yourself and somebody, like, I don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it, they don't want you to talk about it, you know, they walk off from you, like, that ain't cool. Like, at that point, again, you got to reevaluate the person you're dealing with. Okay. Let's see here. Messages from my colleague. Let's do some more cards here. Like sometimes it is hard to communicate because you don't want to scare that person off, or you don't want to feel like you nagging, or simply the person don't want to hear it, and you know they don't want to hear it. But nah, you can't hold your true feeling because somebody don't want to hear it. It's like, if I can't communicate and talk to you what's on my mind, and we can't have an adult conversation about it, that's a problem. I'm not dating a little boy, I'm dating a man. So we should be able to talk, because I know if you don't like something about me, or if you ain't feeling something I'm doing, I will want you to communicate. And as a woman, I'm going to listen to you, and we're going to have to come to a common ground, because I don't want our foundation to be rocky. I want that motherfucker to be solid. Solid as a rock. So again, communication is the number one key. What's on your mind, baby? Let's get some more messages. Throw it out. So we got sadness here. So yeah, if you're feeling sad, down about something, express it. Express it. Why are you feeling sad? Baby, how can we fix this? Like, what's going on? What is making you sad? What is hurting you right now? Like, your partner should be able to wipe your tears. Like, I don't want to see you hurt. I want to see you smile, baby. Like, you know. Supposed to have that type of love. Express yourself. Don't be scared to express yourself. Clarify holding the soul. Clarify holding the soul. So we got shouting and fighting. Yeah, so again, disagreements, communicate. There ain't no way in the world we should have to fight and argue. We should have to yell at one another like we enemies. When we love us, friends, like, why we gotta fight? We can't talk about this. We can't talk like two adults. So somebody can be sad here over an argument, a fight they had with their lover, friend. I'm getting lover. And it's probably weighing on you because you probably feel like you can't say something the way you want to say it, because then it might go into a whole nother argument or a whole nother fight. Again, reevaluate the person you're with. Because if I can't tell you what's on my mind and I can't tell you how I'm feeling, then that's a problem right there. Because I can't communicate with you. How we gonna get somewhere? How we gonna build something if I can't talk to you? If I can't communicate with you? Let's get some more messages. So we got self-sabotage and we got letting go. Yeah, because if somebody can't talk to you or hear you out, you're only self-sabotaging by staying. You have to let it go. You can't stay somewhere where your voice is not being heard, where your opinion doesn't matter, where your feelings doesn't matter. Let's get a love card here. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on path to love. Yeah, because in any relationship you have, you gonna have obstacles. It's gonna be challenges y'all face. It ain't gonna be all peaches and creams. It's gonna be challenges y'all face. Because that's how you learn and you grow with your partner. But again, communication is the key factor. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to tell your person how you feel, where it ain't looking like, oh, you nagging again, oh, here you go again. No, baby, I'm just trying to get this stress up off of me. I'm feeling some type of way. Let me talk to you. Can you hear me out? That's all it is. But if we're gonna evolve and we're gonna grow together, let's do that. Let's take the steps towards that. So when I'm trying to get something off my heart and I'm trying to get something off my chest and I'm trying to express myself to you, hear me out. And don't let it go in one ear and not the other and do the same thing again. Now let's talk about this. Let's sit down and have a clear-cut conversation about this, and let me pour my heart out and you pour your heart out to me. Let's do it genuinely, and let's move differently going forward, because we want to keep our foundation solid, not rocky. Detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. Yes, you're walking away from anything that doesn't serve what you consider love to be. Any problems you're having in a relationship, you and your partner, y'all gonna cut that short because y'all want to work it out. Y'all want to make it work. So y'all detaching from things that is not helping y'all grow together. Y'all gonna sit down and have those conversations about things that's not working for y'all anymore, so y'all can grow together, so y'all can evolve together. Things that y'all feel like, yeah, we ain't gonna do it that way no more. We gonna do it differently going forward, cause we gonna work on this. We gonna be locked in. So it's like detaching from old patterns, like, yeah, just cutting that off, like leaving it alone. Like, in the past, we might have yelled at each other. You run out the door, or I run out the door without having a conversation, and all we doing is yelling, cussing each other out. We ain't gonna do that no more. We gonna cut that out. Going forward, baby, let's have a conversation. Let's sit down and talk. Why are you angry? Tell me why you feel the way you feel, so I can understand you better, so I can understand the situation, because maybe I'm not saying it clearly. And when you do that and you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you have to release control. You can't control how they feel, because you can't tell somebody how they feel about something. I mean, that's what you can't do. So you got to release that control. You have to be open-minded when you go into spaces like that to have a conversation with somebody. You can't be like, well, I wanted you to say it that way, or you should have. You his woman, not his mama. And even with your parents, you should be able to have a two-sided conversation where I understand where you're coming from and you understand where I'm coming from. I have thoughts and opinions just like you have thoughts and opinions. My feelings may differ a little bit. We may see things differently, but we're going to come to a common ground. Why? Because we love each other. We got vision here. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving. Hello. Wait, what? Okay. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure this one out. Clarify vision. Okay, that just makes sense. Okay. So, yeah, y'all want to see the bigger picture together. Like, don't let little small battles, don't let little things, little petty arguments, because a lot of people be having some petty ass arguments. And I feel like that's just to avoid the bigger shit that's going on. So y'all knit and y'all pick instead of having a conversation about the bigger shit. It's like, nah, focus on the bigger picture. Knock the bigger shit out. Let's really tackle that shit. So we won't have to stay in that energy and keep dwelling on that energy. So we can have peace and balance and love and calmness. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. So you can release that. Release it. Release the toxicness, the negativity, what's holding y'all back, the grudges, things from the past that y'all been moved away from and it's still coming up 3-4 years later. Like, release it, let it go. Especially if it's something we talked about already, don't bring it back up. Like, I don't want to hear it again. We talked about that already. We literally sat down and had a heart-to-heart about that already. Now it's a problem 6 months later. Like, what are we doing? We gonna pour one more card. Let's wrap this up. One more card. Again, let's build together. And when you build something, you have to what? Have that foundation solid. It can't be weak when it's gonna fall apart. So when you build it on something, it has to be solid. All praise is due to the Most High.